So the question was, let's say someone has, like, for example, if the pastor of the church or some other person who has been really good to us, they pass away. So can we do Fatiha for them? Second related question: if someone became a Muslim and they have non-Muslim parents, can someone do Fatiha for the deceased relatives who are non-Muslims?
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. May Allah bless all of you, Haqqa Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad, and Mawlid Mubarak, inshallah, for this unique Imam Ali ibn Musa Reza alayhi salam. He is the Imam which you can easily build a personal relationship with that Imam. That's what's more unique about Imam Reza alayhi salam, that you can easily build a personal relationship with him directly. Ask for his help, ask for his shafa'ah in any trouble, any difficult situation. You will find him there for you. He always will come to your help. That's maybe unique for Imam Ali ibn Musa alayhi salam. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
So regarding this question, that question itself reflects how much we are misunderstanding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the creator of everything. Allah does not only create Muslims or create the Shia, while others they have another God created them. No, He created everyone. And He is Rahmah for everyone. And He sends the Prophet Rahmah for everyone. The Prophet ﷺ was walking and then he found a janazah. Maybe all of us know this story. So the Prophet stopped out of respect. So the companions, with their all the mentality, jahiliyyah, ignorancy, they told him, Ya Rasulullah, he's a Jew. Why you stop for him? That is a janazah of a Jew. Then the Prophet ﷺ told him, isn't he a human being? That's humanity. Allah created humanity. So that's how we should understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not because you are a Muslim, you become better to Allah than any non-Muslim. No. For all of us, all of the humanity in front of the Creator, we are the children of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet said, An-nasu, he didn't say the Muslims. An-nasu iyalullah. The people are the children of Allah. أحبكم إلى الله أنفعكم لعيال. The most favorable among you to Allah is the one who is most useful or beneficial to his children. Allah didn't differentiate. Look at your children. If you have 5, 6 children, some of them are very good. They study, they get straight A's, while others are not. They taking some F's. They are not as good as the other one. You as a father, do you feel that you love the one who gets straight A's or he is behaving very good, pray on time, more than that son which neglects sometimes his salat, or at the end all of them are your children? No difference. That's how we have to correct our look toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is not the creator of Muslims or the Shia, no, He's a creator of everyone. And if that's why we fail to present our Islam to other population. That was the defect. Because we didn't. Why the Christians were more able to convert a lot of people around the world to Christianity? because they go through that door. When they traveled all the way to Africa, while people are worshipping idols, they didn't go to them as, oh, you are kuffar, we have to kill all of you. No. They present Allah to them as He is a God of love, God of care, God of forgiving, God of mercy. That's why people start to love God the Creator. We fail to do that. We present Allah to others that He is Allah of Muslims only. If you are not Muslims, or you are not Shia, or you are not Sunni, then you need to be killed. You are not created by Allah. You have another God. That's totally wrong. So after this introduction, yes, of course, you can send your rahmat to a person who was a good person. Even if he died as a non-Muslim, you can make tarahum on that person. Maybe Allah, because of your dua, forgive him on the judgment day. Right? Yes. Allah can do whatever He wants. Allah can forgive whoever He wants. That's not based on our standards or our thinking or our thoughts. That's based on what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. Maybe Allah will forgive all the sin of these guys just because of your dua. So here just I want to support the answer with some real example. The first example was regarding Qarun. You know the story of Qarun. Qarun was a cousin for Musa alayhi salam. And he conspired against Musa, and he support in part of his time. He was jealous from Musa. And he betrayed Musa alayhi salam. And he tried to plan a plot against Musa alayhi salam between Bani Israel. So Musa was very upset with him. And Musa make dua upon him that the earth will swallow him. فَخَسَفْنَا بِهِ وَبِدَارِهِ الْأَرْض. Allah mentions the Quran. That's Qarun. So Allah answers the dua of Musa. So with the time, part of him get more deeper on earth, inside the earth, swallowed gradually. So every time he sink deep in earth, he keep asking Musa, Ya Musa, please forgive me. Ya Musa, help me. But Musa has a very solid heart on him. He said, no, you have to suffer. And he keep doing that until he finally disappeared in the earth. After he disappeared inside the earth, then Allah talked to Musa. We know that Musa Kalimullah. Allah talked to Musa. And Allah told him, Ya Musa, what a hard stone heart you have. ما أقسى قلبك يا موسى. Wallahi, Allah swear by himself, Wallahi, if he ask my forgiveness, then you for your forgiveness, I will forgive him. If instead of begging you, Ya Musa, he begged me, I will save him. That is just an example that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is open for everybody. Because He is the creator of everything. So yes, it is okay to make dua for a person who was good, to recite Fatiha as a blessing, no problem at all for that person. Even if that person you are sure that he died as a kafir or he was a tyrant, that is an exception. If you are sure, but how you will be sure? You are not a masoom. Yes, Allah said to the Prophet about the munafiqeen, وَلَا تُصَلِّ عَلَى أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ مَاتَ أَبَدًا. Don't pray on them, don't make dua for them. But that's because he's the Prophet, he knew them. But how you knew that this person is kafir or munafiq or fasiq, or you didn't know. So just present your dua for the rahmah, for that person. Except if you know you can't make a dua or rahmah for Saddam Hussein, for example. No. There is very well people for tyranny. I can't pray for Fir'aun. No. Or Qarun. No. Or no, I have very soft heart, I will pray for children. You can't do that. No, those are the enemies of Allah. But anyone else, no. You can, even if they are not Muslims. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali. Don't shy. If you have a question or doubts, not just for the sake of questioning, just if you have some doubts in your mind, feel free to discuss these doubts before it will grow and start to be obstacle in front of your faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So
Yes.
there was a question by Brother Dai. He just left because probably he's a little shy. So he
You
was.
should stay to listen to that.
I will.
Okay. What's the question?
Yes. So there are two questions. You can answer those one by one. One is from Muhammad Ali,
Yes.
and he was saying that why do we wear shoes which are open when we do ihram, especially the men? Like they're not allowed to. They only wear shoes which have like really thin.
Yes.
And why not like regular?
Very
shoes?
good question, Muhammad Ali.
And the second.
Let's answer Muhammad Ali, because that's very important. Yes. Why? The question is why especially for male, we have to wear special clothes without any stitches. Even the shoes, it shouldn't have any stitches in the shoes. That's why you can wear something like sandals, but not something which have any stitches. Why that? What is the hikmah behind that? That is the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Imam said, هكذا نزل. That is how Allah revealed to us His order. Why? Sometimes why you pray Salat al-Dhuhr 4 rak'ahs? Why not 10, 17, whatever? Why? That is the order. Why we circumscribe Kaaba for 7 times? Or make sa'i between Safa and the Marwa for 7 times? Why not 9? Why not 12? That is the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why we fast the month of Ramadan? Why not Zil Qa'dah? Why not Zil Hajjah? That's the choice of Allah. So that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to be like that. What is the hikmah behind? Yes, some of these things, it has a hikmah. And it comes, Shaykh Saduq gather all this stuff and put it in a book, and the book called Ilal al-Shara'i', as it comes from our Imams alayhi salam. That it is the reasoning behind some of the ahkam of the deen. Why this, why that, why this, why that. So some of them, they have some hikmah behind it, as it came to us from the Imams alayhi salam. But some others, no, that is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He wanted to be like that. You see? And one of the ilal of why the only men wear this non-stitches clothes, they said because that is it symbolizes the kafan, the shrouds, which we would usually the shrouds, it has no stitches. Nobody will put you in your shrouds or your kafan and will stitch on you. That's why it's to make the whole thing resemble the kafan, the shrouds, to remind you that this is what, and then that's what will take you with you from the dunya. Even a stitch you will not take with you from the dunya. Nothing. So maybe that is the hikmah, but it is not limited to that. Allah knows the wisdom behind it, but the main idea that Allah is testing our obedience. Are going we to obey or no, will not obey until we know what is the wisdom behind this? There is some people like that. No, I will not do that until I know why it is only this or why only in that on that time. Why like that what happened with Imam Ali? Oh, why Ali? Why Ali? That's the will of Allah. It's not your best. Why Muhammad? Before that they asked لولا أنزل هذا القرآن على رجل من القريتين عظيم. If this Quran has been revealed to one of these great personality of Mecca and Thaqif, why Muhammad? We are not going to believe. That is a test in itself. And what was the second question? It was.
So it was if someone has beard, but they're not getting the full facial hair, then what should they do? Should they shave or what should they do? Because
No, the hukm shari that you have something the least which can be called a beard. The least. So anybody look at you, he didn't find you totally shaved. Except if you have some kind of genetic disease, because some people, they genetically they didn't grow any facial hair, right? There is some people like that. Those are excused. But regular people, yes, it is recommended to let your beard grow until it becomes the length of a fist. That is a sunnah. But it is not a must. What is a must for a male just to have something which if somebody look, he say, oh, he has something like a bird. Small or big, it doesn't matter. But he has something. That is the only thing. And you see some Arabs, when they grow only this very small bird here. No, should be covering the face. It is not just this area. Like some Arabs and Saudi, for example, they have this thing. No, it should be something on your whole face, not just the chin. No, that is what we call beard. But how long it is, it doesn't matter. It is okay. For you, it is okay. But he has another question, you said. There was something else you asked besides that question.
These two questions.
Yes. What was the second one?
that was Time's question. That was.
Oh, really? But there was something else you asked about. I don't know. Anyhow, yes.
Why Zohar and Asr prayed quietly?
Oh, that is the same thing. It has been said, but that is not limited. It has been said that this because at the time when the Prophet was in Mecca and the Salah was secret, the Da'wah was secret, was not public. You know that the Da'wah of Islam for 3.5 years was secret. The Prophet used to make tabligh secret between his close companions, only the household of the Prophet only. But it was not public for everybody in Mecca. So they said that during this daytime, people were around the Muslims everywhere. So if the Muslim recite his salat out loud, then this will become against the secrecy of the da'wah. The da'wah should be secret, right? So if they say it out loud, this means that the da'wah it become public. It is not secret anymore. That's why these two salat al-Dhuhr and salat al-Asr, allow it to be secret, to protect the secrecy of the da'wah in the beginning of Islam. And it continue after that. Is this the only reason? No, definitely there is many hikmah after that. What is that exactly? Just we didn't know. Some of these ahkam, we have to take it as it is. And we'll obey it as it is. Even if we didn't understand. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to train us to obey without asking question. That is what they do in the military, right? in any army. They tell you, obey the order. We didn't have to explain to you what is our plan for the war. You have to do whatever you're ordered to do. And that's it, without even you understand why I am doing this. You attack in the beginning of the day and you retreat at the end of the day. Why? That is the opinion of the commander in the field. So you have to obey without you understanding. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us like that. To obey, even if we didn't understand the hikmah behind it, still obey, and later on maybe Allah will reveal the hikmah to you. Or you read it in a book. Then you catch it. But you get the reward of obeying without understanding why. That in itself, it carries a lot of, Allah loves that. Loves people when they said, سمعنا وأطعنا. قالوا سمعنا وأطعنا. We listen and obey. Allah loves that. So that is very important.
How can we mentally prepare ourselves for the day of judgment?
With deeds. With good deeds. That's how you should prepare for your hereafter. For the judgment day. For the accountability day. With good deeds, with repenting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with preparation for that day, with believing in that day. It is exactly as you prepare mentally and physically for the final year exam. How you prepare for it? At the last month or from the beginning, from September? When you start school, you start to prepare for the final exam which will come in June. But you have to start, if you are smart, you have to start from September when the school started. You have to start studying continuously until you reach June and the final exam. That's if you are smart. But if you are a lazy student, no, you waste your time. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. It is approaching now. Let me try to study. You never can catch up. That's how you should prepare for your hereafter. From now. Don't wait a moment. Don't say, no, I am still young. You are not young. From now, take advantage of every second in your life. Because death can knock on your door at any time. Even if you are a child. Even if you are 5 years old or 2 years old or 6 years old, doesn't matter. So continue preparation for the hereafter. That is very important. Try to do a lot of good deeds and to ask forgiveness for the bad deeds you committed. It's very easy. And Allah Arhamur Rahim. And you build your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Obeying Him, believing in Him, loving Him. That is your way for salvation. Yes. Yes, my daughter.
So in Islam, I was wondering if you could dye your hair in some saturated color, like red, yellow, or something like that.
If what? I didn't understand.
If you could
dye your hair like saturated color, like green, yellow, or blue, or something like that.
If you change the color of your hair.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For male, it is allowed. For male, actually, it is recommended when your hair become gray to stain it with black or with yellow or whatever color you want for male. But for females, it is allowed only in front of their husbands or their children or their parents or their brothers. Because this for female is a zina. And zina for female is not allowed except in front of the mahram only. Mahram means what? Her husband, her father, her brother. Those are the maharim. Her cousin, no. Only father, brother, and the husband, and son, of course. That is dua mahram for a female. Any zina, not only coloring. Coloring or any kind of zina. And that includes the contact lenses, by the way, because I received this question many times. Contact lenses for females, which is colored. Changes the color of the eye. That is a zina. Is not allowed in front of strangers. The non-mahram is not allowed for them. So changing the color, yes. For the girl, as long as she is still below 9 years old, she does not have taklif. She can do whatever she wants. So if you are less than 9, you are allowed. Take advantage now and put the color you like for your hair. Before it becomes too late. But I love these questions. Very nice, mashallah.
Can I get an ear piercing as a man?
You can get what?
An ear piercing.
There is nothing say it is haram. And in Islam, everything, keep that in mind, the niqash. In Islam, everything is halal except the things which Allah said it is haram. So otherwise, now I am talking in front of this mic. Is it halal or haram? Is this halal? Why? Because there is no tahrim. The Prophet didn't say that mic is haram or the cell phone is haram or halal. It is halal. Why? Because the Prophet didn't say that cell phone is haram. And so on and so forth. So the things which is haram is very limited. It's very limited. And even if you have doubts, you have something, somebody give you something, drink, and tell you drink this. And you didn't know, is this drink, there is something halal or haram. You have doubts. As long as you are not sure, it is halal. To make it haram, you have to be sure 100% it is halal. It is haram. If you have doubts, you can use it. No problem. If you have doubts that, oh, my clothes has najasa or not, if you have doubts, pray, no problem. Consider it halal. Consider it tahir. Except if you are sure that your clothes is najis. Now it is not allowed. So please keep that in mind, because some Muslims complicate the life for themselves for nothing. For nothing. Everything, is this halal or is this halal? That is good, because it is a sign of the taqwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But don't make your your life hard and the life of others hard too by keep saying, oh, this is halal, or if you have doubts, it is halal. If you have wara', that extreme level of taqwa, even if you have doubts, you say, you know what, I didn't want to drink. Even if I have doubts. Yes, it is halal because I have doubts, I'm not sure. It is halal. But I didn't want to take any chances. I will leave it. You see? Yes.
Is wrestling sunnah?
What?
Is wrestling sunnah?
Wrestling.
Wrestling sunnah means what?
Like what the Prophet did or liked?
Yes, yes. It is one of the recommended sports to train how to wrestle. Yes. And the Prophet ﷺ used to have Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein wrestle together. They wrestling each other. When they were in your age, they used to wrestle with each other. And the Prophet used to support Imam al-Hassan in this wrestling. Go take Hassan, take him from here, hit him there. So Sayyidah Fatima, so that she told him, oh father, you love Imam Hassan more than Imam Hussein? The Prophet told him, no, I support Imam Hassan because Jibreel was supporting Imam Hussein. Imagine, Jibreel was supporting Imam Hussein while the Prophet was supporting Imam Hassan. So there is no problem regarding that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Follow up about the ear piercing. The ear.
The ear piercing. Yes.
I mean, you said about.
As it is not officially haram by the Maraja, so you can do.
However, isn't also the Maraja, they say you also relate it to the urf, meaning the culture, or what's like the understanding of the community.
But the understanding never makes thing haram. They said that this urf make it not recommended, but not haram. Because haram in Sharia it need a nas.
Yeah.
It need a quote which prevented specifically. Something in the Quran or something from the Ma'sumin alayhim salam. You see, some people they not only pierce, they put earrings in their ear.
Yeah, but that is what we need.
That is
Earring.
if you put it under the tashabbuh of males to be act like females, لا تتشبهوا بالنساء, yes, it become haram from that aspect.
But didn't the Prophet say that don't do things that will make you look like the
Imitative.
Yes, لا تتشبهوا بالنساء. Yes.
Yeah.
لا يتشبه الرجال بالنساء ولا النساء
or
بالرجال.
if it's known, or the urf is that usually homosexuals they'll do those kinds of things.
Yes.
So okay, it's not haram, but that they do that.
Yes.
So isn't there a ruling
That is left for, that is one of the issues left for the marja. The marja has the authority that even if thing is halal, but he found that threatening the community at the time, he can issue a fatwa of tahrim, like Sayyid al-Burujirdi in Iran,
about the smoking?
about the planting of tobacco. Planting of tobacco is halal. Nobody make it tahrim. But because the British was occupying Iran at that time and take advantage of planting the tobacco to plant it and sell it with higher prices outside, and there was a fighting with the British to liberate Iran from the British occupation. So the Marja said Burujidi at that time, he issued a fatwa of tahrim. He make planting tobacco haram. And also the fatwa of Sayyid al-Khomeini, قدس الله تعالى سره, on 1988, after they killed the Iranian pilgrimage, the Iranian Hujjaj, after they killed them in Mecca during the season of the Hajj, Imam al-Khomeini issued a fatwa of preventing tahrim al-Hajj on the Iranian on the next year. And yes, the next year, nobody went to the Hajj. And that's a farida. But Allah left this power in the hand of the marja based on the circumstances of the community and the danger which could threaten the community. So in such specific cases, you have to refer to your marja of al-taqlid to see if it is become haram or not recommended, hated, prohibited, or it is mubah. You can do it, whatever.
Yeah, but that's one level. That
Yes.
it's halal or haram. But there's another level, like it's just a good idea.
Yeah, that is the level of the ethics.
Yeah.
There is a level of ethics. Not everything is halal or haram. There is some things which you ask yourself, does this act pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if it is halal? Does it please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not?
Or is it something that the believers, mu'mineen, would do, like a
But that is more deeper when you say please Allah or not. Because it is, even if it is not regarding the mu'mineen, but me doing this act, even if it is allowed, does that will make me more favorable to Allah? It brings me more closer to Allah, or no, it distance me away from Allah? That is your judgment should be like that, not it become like a student. You know that passing score is, for example, 60%. If you get 60%, you pass. Below 60%, you fail. But all students, they study to get just as a 60% and to pass, or they study to get 75, 80, 85, 90%. Of course, each of them, they want to get higher grades than just the passing. So if you just looking how to pass, passing this 60% passing, that is halal or haram. That is on this level, you will drop, you will fail, you go to the hellfire. So you didn't just want to pass, you want to go to the paradise. And not only that, you want to the higher place of the paradise. So you have here to look at yourself. For example, putting the tattoo, especially for the young.
Yes.
Tattoo.
Tattoo.
It is halal or haram. Nothing say it is haram. Nothing. Nothing even say that it is makruh. But according to the urf, and that habit now, put by whom? By reckless people who has no akhlaq, people are used to do that, the taqleed of the non-Muslims, and it become a sign of corruption. Regarding that, then it is not recommended to imitate them in doing such things. Even if it is halal. Why? Because we want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We just didn't want to, that just the halal, the minimum, the passing score. No, I didn't just want to the passing score. Who of the students here just study for the passing score? He will be a bad student. Because if you study just for the passing score, definitely you will fail. Because any shortage, you will drop. You usually study for a higher grade. So even if you get lower, you didn't touch the 60%. You still have margin of passing. But if you just study for the passing margin, no, you are in jeopardy. We have to keep that in mind. It's a very important issue. You have to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask yourself before you put this tattoo on your body and you imitate the corrupted non-Muslims communities. Ask yourself, when I put that, does this will bring me closer to Allah or far from Allah, or it doesn't matter? You do only things which bring you closer to Allah. Even if the Maulana tell you, it will not bring you more closer and not distant from Allah. Don't say, okay, as long as it will not put me distant, I will do it. No, if it didn't put you more closer to Allah, don't do it. Don't do it. Some programs which you are following on TV, or some activities you are doing on your phone or in your laptop or whatever, some of these things, do you ask, it is haram or halal? Like, for example, watching soccer games. Watching soccer games. Before you waste your time, 2 hours, 3 hours, in such a thing, ask yourself first, when I watch this game, it's counted from the minutes and hours of our life, right? During this time. Does this practice will bring me more closer to Allah? Or no, it will not bring me more closer, not distance? Or no, it will distance myself from Allah? Ask yourself this. If you are a true mu'min, anything which will not bring you more closer to Allah, waste of time. You will not get punished for it, but you will not get rewarded for it. These 2 hours which you spend supporting Real Madrid or Barcelona or whatever, if these 2 hours you spend reciting the Quran or reading a book or spending time in the masjid or making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which of these 2 practices will bring you more closer to Allah? Choose always the thing which bring you more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make that your lifestyle. Any action, anything, ask yourself. This will bring. I am talking to my friend on the phone. We're talking for 1 hour. Okay, this talk bring you more closer to Allah. You are discussing religion, how to be better mu'mineen, better Muslimin, how you support the oppressed, how to acknowledge, to acquire more knowledge about the Imams, for example. If you are spending good time with your friend regarding that, very good. Stay 1 hour talking to him, no problem. But if we are wasting 1 hour with my friend on the phone, talking about things which meaningless, nonsense, waste of time, during this time, pay attention, please, my brothers and sisters and my children. Every minute you waste from your life, imagine in this minute, how many your heart beats, how many times you breathe, what is the amount of cardiac output you have, how many muscles you work. Do you know what efforts all your body organs do just to talk? How many muscles work by the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so you can talk? A lot of bounties. You can't imagine how this body work in a very complicated. You waste all of that for nonsense. I will ask you a question. Can ever Brother Suhail, here Brother Suhail, can ever he leave the place after he clean everything and he will close the door? He do all of that and they left all these lights on? Can he do that? Can he do that? Leave the light on? Why? Why you will not do that? Because nonsense. Why I waste energy? And it's not just electricity. You are wasting the energy of your body. Allah created your body for what? For ibadah, for worshipping Him, for tasbih, for acquiring knowledge, for tawheed. Not to waste it in nonsense. Every minute is countable against you. Your time will pass. If you didn't die, you will grow more older. The things which you are doing now, after 10 years, you can't do such things. So you waste the time of your youth, your activity, your power, and then when you need that, oh, now now I will dedicate my life for Allah. After you become 60, 65. You try to recite the Quran, oh, your tongue gathers. Oh, I have a stroke. Oh, I forgot. Of course, that's normal because you waste the time of your strength. That's why اغتنم حياتك قبل موتك. Take advantage of your life before your death. اغتنم صحتك قبل سقمك. Take advantage of your health before you become sick. But when the time you are healthy, you waste your time in every kind of nonsense. Video games, chatting, soccer, whatever, everything nonsense. We are so smart how to waste our time. Joking around, that is mashallah. In this you are so smart. But when it comes to invest your time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask you about every second. Wallahi, read the Quran. قالوا ما لهذا الكتاب لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها. On the judgment day, when you get your book, you look at your book, you say, oh my God, nothing has been left except written in this records. Nothing, even this small thing, yes. Even if this few stay in front of the TV or in front of the my phone or anything, playing games or watching soccer or watching movies or watching TV series or whatever. No, everything you will be accountable for it. Everything. So keep that in mind, especially while you guys are still in young age. Don't allow the shaitan to steal your life. The shaitan and your nafs, they are your worst enemies. The shaitan and yourself. Yourself is like a wild animal live inside you. Yourself want to distract you all the time to enjoyment of the life. Anything enjoyment, good food, good life, luxury, that is your nafs. And the shaitan help it. Don't allow that to happen. Cut this relationship and spend your time only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam al-Rida alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Imam al-Rida alayhi salam, you know, at that time, all people, they used to have slaves. Slavery was allowed and was there. Like America just 100 years ago or 200 years ago, slavery was here everywhere. So at that time, regular people, they have slaves. Imam alayhi salam, with all this position the Imam has, he never sit to eat alone. When the time comes for food, he always gather all his servants, all his slaves, to sit with him and to eat with him. Not only that, he feed them with his hands. And if he sees the adab of the Imam, if he finish before them, he stand up and told them, I finish, but I swear upon you by Allah to keep going and keep eating until you feel satisfied. Because the Imam didn't want to cut their food by leaving, and so they will come, oh, the Imam finished and will stay eating. No, that is the adab of the Imam. Why he's doing that? Because he's looking for his akhirah. He's a hujjah upon us. What's the meaning of a hujjah upon us? Hujjah upon us means your amal will be compared to the Imam. You will be judged based on that standard. If you do something less, you will be asked. That's why we call them Hujjatullah. Hujjah means what? Hujjah means will be proof against you in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your deeds will be compared to their deeds. Like the answer key will compared with your answer sheet. They will be compared together, right? That is the same thing. So try to imitate the Imam. That's why Allah put the Imams for us. To try to act like them. To practice their akhlaq. To follow their footsteps. That is the meaning of being Shia of the Imam. Shia means we follow their footsteps. Whatever the Imam do, don't say, oh, but he is the Imam. No. He is there as a role model for us. Those should be our role model, especially for the youth. Make your role model the Imam. Don't make your role model the corrupt people you see in TV and in movies, and those are, mashallah, your role model. No. Role model should be your Imams. And the companions of the Imams. Those should be your role model. Any more questions? We still have time.
My question is, what is the ruling on gelatin?
On?
Gelatin.
Gelatin. Very good. Gelatin, if it comes from animal source, and this animal is totally najis, like pig and dog and all these animals, it is haram. One word, no problem. Gelatin which come from animals which is not slaughter according to Islam, it is not zabiha halal, that also will be haram. But recently there is something called synthetic gelatin. Gelatin which is being synthesized in the lab. It is not coming from animal origin. That is halal because it is not coming from animal origin. And there is gelatin which come from animals which has been slaughtered, halal. That is halal. But here comes a trick. The gelatin, even if it come from an animal which has not been slaughtered, halal, but it has been processed, this make it halal. What's the meaning of that? Yes, if you get the animal and you take the gelatin of the animal and immediately put it in a food or medication or anything, this makes the food or anything haram. But does that practically happen in life? Absolutely not. Nobody will do that. They take this gelatin from the animal and they do some processing for this gelatin. Processing which makes this gelatin change it, both physically and chemically. Physical changes and chemical changes. The Maraja said that this process of physical changes and chemical changes, it become like tathir for that gelatin. So instead of being najis, it become tahir because it has been processed. Like for example, the renin. You know the renin, that's the enzyme put on the milk so the milk become cheese. That is the renin. Yes, where is the renin present in the animal? It is present in the stomach of the animal. The stomach of the animal. So, if there is a sheep or goat or cow slaughtered, not halal. Not halal. And after you slaughter the animal, you take the stomach and you put it in the milk. Yes, the cheese will happen, is haram. But does that anyone do that now? Can anybody take the stomach of an animal and put it in the milk? No. So what they do, how they get the renin? Oh, it has to go through a lot of process to extract this renin and purify it from all bacteria. And many processes will be done until this renin become suitable to be added as an enzyme to the milk. This process is considered to be tathir for that renin. So the milk result will be halal because it is not anymore coming directly from the animal like before. Yes, 500 years ago, 400 years ago, people does not have this technology. So they took the stomach of the animal, they squeeze it, and they take whatever the result of the squeeze, put it in the milk and leave the milk, it become cheese after some time. Yes, that's haram. If the animal is not slaughtered according to the Sharia. But now that does not happen. Many medications now, it is all this fast acting or medications which protect the stomach, like the Tylenol, the gel cap, Aleve, gel cap, Motrin, gel cap, all this, it is the medication melt in gelatin. But this gelatin is underwent many steps of purification until be added to the medication. So it is become halal. That is the fatwa of Sayyid Sistani regarding the purification or the tathir, the processing of anything, it becomes like a tathir for this thing. But if at the end, if you want to just, I didn't want to take any chances, I want to stay away from all the milk and stuff, it's up to you. It's up to you. But you can't enforce it on others. And of course, in any certain cases, you have to refer to the marja of taqlid, or one of the representatives of the marja, so they can tell you the correct answer. Yes, Habibi.
What are the rewards you can get for praying Fajr?
Praying Fajr is like praying all the fara'id. By default, now we consider, praying Fajr, mashallah, that is good. No, by default, praying Fajr, it should be like Salatul Dhuhr, Salatul Asr, Salatul Maghrib, Salatul Isha. You see, so you have to do it. If you didn't do it in time, it becomes like you miss the Salatul Asr, you miss Salatul Dhuhr, you miss it. But your question could be better if you ask, what is the reward you get for Salatul Layl? The night time prayer. Yes, the hadith said that Sharaful Mu'min Salatul Layl. That the honor of a mu'min, Salatul Layl. In Salatul Layl, when you prevent yourself from your sleep, you reject your sleep, and you go and make your wudu and stand to pray in a time which prayer is not enforced upon you. But why you do that? Because you love Allah. You want to bring yourself more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you think this will make Allah loves you or not? Absolutely. And when Allah loves you, what He will do? He will reward you. He will save you on the judgment day. He will forgive all your sins. When you ask Allah for anything, He will answer your prayer. Right? That is why. Because you bring yourself more closer. You show your love and dedication to Allah. You do something extra. Not just you pray the Fajr. No. You wake up 1 hour before Salat al-Fajr to stay in prayer, asking for forgiveness and asking for the love of Allah and bringing yourself more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is how we should raise our kids. It is not enough to put your kids in Islamic school. Islamic school will never make a good Muslim. Or even just attending majalis here or there, or just being in the masjid. We do that thinking that, that will protect our children. You are deceiving yourself. So when your child grow up and went to that college, you will find him totally get misguided and he changed person. And you keep crying. Oh, my son, why?